This is the main strategy that we use to scale brands to and beyond 8 figures. Applying these things normally allows us to charge higher prices while converting more, have a better ROAS, and be able to scale across channels. Recently, we used this strategy to scale one of our brands and double the revenue and double the profits within 90 days. In the end of this, I'll also give you a checklist that we use in our business that we go through to see what are the things that we can apply with the highest impact. But also on the other side, what are the things that are easiest to apply so that we can choose kind of the sweet spot, the low-hanging fruit that have the biggest impact, so you can pick what do you want to start with to apply it to your business. My name is Nils Olderup. I own a company that grows companies. So basically what we do is we take on businesses and we partner with them that do between $1 and $3 million a year, and then we scale them to 8 figures and profit on the upside. All right. There are a few different ways that you can grow your business to $1 million. When you're just starting out, it works very differently to get to $1 million than it goes from there to scale it to $10 million. There are multiple things that you can do to start. Pick one channel. It can be ads, it can be affiliates, it can be you're making your own content. All of them somehow sort of work in the same way. Just to give an example, let's use Facebook ads. In the beginning, it somehow looks like this. You run ads, and then in the end of the day, you make money. And there are 3 C's that we use to scale that in the very beginning. The very first C, we call it a CPM. So this is cost per million. This is your impression, the cost, what you pay to get 1,000 views. So you have that cost on Facebook, you have that on YouTube, you have it anywhere where you advertise, where you share your product. There's a leverage. Let's say it's kind of like a scale. The lower your CPM is, the stronger you are in that aspect, the more money you make. The worse your CPM, the less money you make. So that somehow looks like this. The next one that we have here, the next C, is your click-through rate. So that is the percentage of people that click on your ads, the percentage of people that take an action to actually go to your page. Better your click-through rate, the more money you make. So there's another leverage. The third one is CRO. CRO stands for conversion rate optimization. The better you do here, same principle. Maybe that's off screen, not sure if you can see it, but you get the point, right? That's the 3 C's that we use. Only applying these to one channel where you have the right product for that channel, we call that product channel fit, that can get you to $1 million a year. But this only gets you so far. So normally what people do is then to scale the business and say, okay, I kind of maxed out how much I can do on this channel. Let me add another channel. So for example, it might be influencers, let's say KOL. And then they're running KOL, and eventually after some time, after investing, after sweating, after doing it, they figure this out and they're also making money. And they say, sweet, I just market more and I make more money, and I market even more and I make more money. Maybe I can do something crazy. I can market even more and get even more money. So they add another channel. Let's say just for example, let's say TikTok, right? They make TikTok ads work, or they have a TikTok shop or whatever. They make more money. The problem with all of that is it only gets you so far. This one you can only do to like $2-3 million a year, because then things start to kind of fall apart a little bit. First off, you lose focus because now you have so many things to do. If you don't know each of these, you probably also have a team for that cost money. Then the more you do, the more you market, naturally your CPM is going up. Naturally over time, your click-through rate is going down. Naturally over time, competition is coming in that's kind of ruining everything a little bit for you. So this one you can absolutely get to $2, $3, $4 million a year. So what we're doing is we're applying a bigger leverage. And today I'll share the 2 things that this funnel is made of that we use to actually scale all of the business. It's a much bigger leverage that we apply to scale to and beyond 8 figures. And by the way, if you are at this level of like $2-3 million a year, you know what I'm talking about. If you're at $1 million, just add more channels. And if you're just starting out, this one is really important for you to know so you don't get stuck. So here's the first part of the funnel that helps us grow. You actually get 2 things from it. So one is obvious, you get money. The other thing that you get is customers. And what customers can do for you is they can buy again. So you turn this money into more money, and we call that LTV. That stands for lifetime value. The very first time we came up with that concept was about 4 years ago, when we were seeing the first time a $30 million brand. So we met the CEO of that brand, and she thought it's interesting to work with us, and somehow we got access to her store, and she was running a $30 million brand. There must be something really amazing that she does with the marketing. She must be a marketing genius. We looked at all of the channels, we looked at all of the things that she was doing, and then we realized her ROAS was like 1.6. she made almost no money on her ads. Her ads didn't even look as good. It turns out her ads team wasn't even great. And then she told us something that really stuck. She said, I buy as many customers as I can without going bankrupt, and then I profit on retention. And for me, that concept was so important, but it didn't stick immediately because I come from a direct response world. I run ads, or your ads are not working, do a better funnel, optimize your page, improve your copywriting, all of those things. And that is just all of the 3 C's that I was so obsessed about when actually she was putting a much bigger leverage in. So this is the very first part. Let me break that down for you so you can apply it. Let's start with a product journey. So here's sort of how that works. Let's say here is how much money you make, and here is the time over which you sell. Say here's $100, $200, $300. And then this is day number 1, day 30, 60. How the product journey works is something like this. Let's say initially, very first, you sell something like curtains, right? You sell pretty curtains. And they cost about $100. So all of your people on average spend $100 with you to buy the curtains. But later, you can sell them 3 more things. You can sell them an adjacent product that is something similar that they can also use that the same customer wants. So for example, it could be a pillow. And then later, it could be a pillow sheet. So it could be an accessory. Or you sell them something that's complementary. Complementary things could be something that work with one of these products. So it could be a steamer for the curtains to get the wrinkles out. Or it could be a pillow sheet for the pillow, another sheet, a new sheet that works together with that product. Or over time, you can sell another curtain. So that would be more of the same thing. So these are the 3 that you can use. You can use more of the same thing, adjacent products or complementary products with that. And every time the same customer buys from you, they spend more money, more money, more money. So for us right now, we get about 25% of people double how much they spend. So 25% of people who go from $100 to $200. And that may not seem like a lot. It's like, yeah, it's only 25% of people. That's actually not that much money. Let me break down for you how crazy of an impact this is, because this alone doubles your profits. In our example, the first order is about $100. But then you need to pay for the product, you need to fulfill the product and ship the product. So that's your cost of goods. So your gross profit on this one, our gross profit is about 60%. That means we have to spend $40 in cost of goods and shipping and all of that stuff to make this work, to sell this product. But then we also have $50 to acquire new customers. So we call that NCPA. That is what we need to pay per acquisition for each customer, again, to buy customers, right? Because that's what we're doing. So the Mindshift goes from let's profit as much as possible here to how many customers can we buy. This is our cost to buy new customers. So in the end of the day, we have about $10 left over, which is a 10% profit, roughly. I know there are other things. There's office rent, there are fixed costs, there are tools. I understand. But roughly, this is how it looks like. So if you have 1 channel or 2 channel or even 3 channels scaled, you'll probably end up with something like this. This is the average that we normally see. Now, let me show you the impact of the LTV. Let's say in 1 year, you made $1 million. Right? You just have 1 channel, you scale it, $1 million. At 10%, now you're making 100K in profit. But we know that 25% of people buy again for another $100 on average. So in a year from now, within a year, these people here, 25% of them turn into more money for you. So that's 250K of revenue. It's like, okay, that doesn't seem like a lot. These ones is obviously more than that ones. Of course it is. But here's the crazy part. These people you already acquired. Those are not new customers anymore because you own them. So you don't have to pay cost per acquisitions to sell to these people. So what that means for you is you get to keep all of your gross profit, which is 60% of that. So if we're looking here, 250,000, that's about $150,000 in profit for you. Look how crazy this is. This little one here is giving you more profit than this giant one here. But it's not like you're going to stop marketing. It's not like you're going to stop selling. So next year, let's say if you don't scale your business, you don't do anything differently, you're making another $1 million acquiring new customers. And that gives you another 100K. So now your profit on this is 250. So you're going from 100K to 250K in profit. So in the end of the day, you go from 1 million to 1.25 million, and you're going from 100 profit to 250. 100 to 250. That is more than twice the profit that you're making, even though on the revenue it doesn't look like crazy. So this is the impact that this can have. Imagine how good you can sleep at night if you know certainly that 25% of people will buy again, and I'll show you in a minute how we measure it. If your channel breaks down, if Facebook shuts you down, if anything happens to your business, you will make more money next year than you did this year. So that's the powerful concept of lifetime value. That's why it's so impactful to focus on this. So I know how much time as marketers we spend on the top funnel, the sales funnel, but the brand funnel, everything that happens after you have the customer, is equally important. So don't you think it makes sense to focus on that if you knew that it actually was true, that it actually made you so much more money? We do that with two ways, how we measure it. One is very simple. It's a Shopify plugin called Lifetimely. That is what we use to measure our LTV over time. The other thing that we use is we use Triple Whale, and we use a post-purchase survey. In the post-purchase survey, we ask people, what led you to your purchase today? And then people will tell you where they bought, why they bought. So they will vote and they say, oh, I Googled and then I found your product. I was on Instagram and I saw your ad. I bought from you before and now I buy again because I like your brand and I like your product. And this is how powerful this is. The next tactic that we use here is a nurturing funnel. So within these, if you're running Facebook ads, you already have a funnel. You have some sort of awareness, then you have conversions, and you have retargeting, right? So there's a funnel that you build. The same way you can build a funnel for post-purchase. So that's a follow-up funnel or a post-purchase funnel. And here's how it works. We know that most people buy again in the first 3 days. So day number 1, 2, 3. Then day 7, day 10, day 14, kind of we try to interact with them every 2 weeks. Until eventually, 90 days, we go to weekly interaction. Here's how we do it. There's 3 main methods. One is email. So they get emails from us, a lot of emails on the first 3 days. First day, we send them 2 emails, and then they get 1 per day at least. These emails are packed with value. So they show you, congratulations, you just bought this product. This is how you can use it. Here's an influencer video, how someone else used it. So here's where we promote and where we add value. We also do that through blog posts, because some people prefer written media, so they like to just read through something. So we create really high value posts that we can do. The great thing about all of that is you only have to make all of that once. You set it up once and then it's all automated. The other thing we do is we have a brand ambassador we hire that makes content for us. So that is YouTube videos, podcast content, things like that. And in the first few days, we're sharing all of that with the user. With that, we have basically an 80-20 between, we call it the VP ratio. So that is value to promotion. We want to do about 80% of value add activity and 20% of promotion in this. We don't want to overwhelm. They don't want to open your emails again. They don't want to read your blog posts. They don't want to see your videos if all you do is sell them more things. What you actually want to do is create an experience, make something that they love to look at, that they want to come back to watch again, that they go to your website just to look at your blogs or open your emails just to get more value from it, to see something nice, to have a tip, to get something that gives them value. That is the main reason why they open it and why they look at these things. Our emails have up to 60% open rates. I will go into that in a little bit and show you how we do it. Just keep in mind, there's value and promotion. And also, don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to do all of that from the beginning. You can start with one and then move on to the other. And I'll break down next the easiest one that we do, which is email. Let's talk about email. Our brands on average get 32% of their revenue from email. And mind you, that is what Klaviyo is saying. So you can see it here, but what Klaviyo is saying is that is what it is. You have to take that with a grain of salt because all of the channels, no matter what you do, if it's Klaviyo for emails, if it's Facebook for ads, if it's Google, all of the channels will always over-attribute and tell them, hey, I'm the one making most money to you, pay more attention to me. So take that with a grain of salt, but that is what we're looking at. Email is the best tool that you have to add value to the customers you already have and to promote to them in order to make more money. And to not just spam them, we do this. So there's 2 things. One is flows and one is campaigns. Flows are basically automations. So those are things like the post-purchase flow that when someone bought from you, automatically they get emails every day. First day, second day, third day, seventh day, 10th day. That's kind of the sequence. Then there are campaigns, and campaigns are not automations. Campaigns just go out based on the calendar. So we use campaigns to promote. How we do that is every month we make the customer think or feel that there's a new promotion, a new thing that they will miss out of if they don't take action. If you're sending just promotion emails every month, people get used to it. And it's like, okay, I know I can always get a deal because they're always somehow running a promotion. So we add kind of perceived urgency to it. How we do it is we have monthly sales campaigns. We only run these promotions for 1 week in a month, and then we use emails to promote that. We build hype only for 1 week, winter promotion, and we give certain discounts on certain products only in that time, and that's how we get more people to buy again. That concludes the first part of the brand funnel, but it's just one step. That one is already powerful, but there's something else that's even more powerful than that one, and that is word of mouth. And before you tune out, I know it sounds boring and it sounds like it doesn't matter, but we can actually measure that, how many people come through word of mouth. So let me show you how this actually works. About 2 years ago, I realized I'm a little bit fat. So what I did is I went on a diet. And in that diet, I lost 10 kilos. So that's about 20 pounds in 4 months. And how I did that is with a product called Huel. So Huel is a supplement. It's basically food in powder form that you can drink. It has all the vitamins, the nutrients, the proteins that you need. And so I used these brands' products to lose that much weight. And then after 4 months, when I came back, all skinny and handsome, right, and happy, I came back, all of my friends, they're like, hey, you look awesome. What did you do? I used Huel as a product to lose all that weight. Oh, that's really cool. Maybe I should try that too. And then my friend tried it too. And then there was another friend who was the same. And then they talked to their friends. And then their friends used it too. Lots of little people here. So that's how Huel as a brand turned one buyer into 2 buyers, into 4 buyers, and they will turn them into 8, into 16, into 32. That is why Huel is a multiple $100 million brand because of this concept. That's how powerful this is. Now, these people here can talk in person, right? They can meet each other, or they can post in their own social media, right? I might post a picture of myself like, look, this is the result I got after using Huel. Also, people like status and they like to post results of a product and say, hey, I used this cool thing. I found this, I used it, it works, and now I want to give it to you to help you, so I get status from that. Right now in our business, 50% of revenue comes from the sales funnel and 50% of revenue comes from the brand funnel. This is where 80% of our profits come from. And we measure that through the post-purchase survey. So here you can see how that actually looks like on a graph. This one compared to all of the channels that we use above. I made a huge mistake before. I used Facebook ads to grow business to $100,000 a month and I was making 0 profit. And I was like, man, this doesn't work. Let me shut it down. I missed out of all of this thing. So if you're at the stage where you're growing something, where you're starting the business and you're not, it's not spitting out profits for you, it doesn't matter. Remember, you're doing this to buy customers and then you profit on the retention. So the cool thing about the word of mouth is it acts as both a fuel and an amplifier. Here's what I mean. All these people talk about your brand. So they give you free brand awareness for everything that you do because these people already posted, these people already told their friends. So if then now someone sees your ad and they know, hey, I heard about this brand from a friend, they're much more likely to buy. If they watch a YouTube video and under the YouTube video there's people commenting, I use this product and it's so amazing, it's so good, they're much more likely to buy. So your conversion rate goes up because now people come to you through trust, you can charge more money, and you can scale all of the channels. But this also works the other way around, and this is something called negative word of mouth. So if I use a product and it's shit, I will tell my friend, don't buy this product, it's shit. And then when their friend asks them, hey, I saw this ad, I'm thinking about buying this product, my friend will say, I heard that this product is shit. They haven't even used it. They will just say, I heard from my friend that this product is shit, you don't buy it. So then they prevent sales. So then one person who has a bad experience turns into 2 people who have a bad experience, turns into 4 people who have a bad experience, turns into your business dies. Because your CPMs go through the roof, and all the comments under your ads will be, I bought this before, it sucks. All the comments under the YouTube video will be, I heard from my friend this is shit. Just a caveat, for all of this to work, you actually need to sell good products. You actually need to give people something that helps them, that adds value to their life, and where you keep your promise of selling them in the ad, you also need to keep the promise in the experience of the product. So let's talk about that next. Imagine you go to a restaurant. They ran a great campaign for you to get you in a restaurant. You have a coupon code. You go in, you eat the food sucks. The same goes for your products. We actually measure how good are our products and what's the experience that they give. The same way that you can measure your cost per click and your click-through rate and all of the things on the ads part, you can actually measure product experience with something called an NPS score. I won't go too deep because I made a whole video about it and you can go check that out here. But the simple way to check this is just return rates. So look at all of the products. If you have a 2% return rate, that's good. 2.5, nah, at the border. 3, 4, 5, you really need to fix that. And if your return rate is 10%, your business is gonna die. Stop what you're doing right now, fix your business first, scale down your ads, because the more ads you run with that return rate, stop what you're doing immediately, fix your business first, because 2 things are gonna happen. Facebook is going to shut you down and PayPal is going to shut you down as well. And then you don't have a business anymore. And I'm talking about that from experience. We did this for one of our brands. We had 120 products and then overnight we removed 100 products that didn't fit the criteria. We were really scared that will hurt the revenue in short term, but we were willing to take that sacrifice for long term. Turn out the revenue stayed exactly the same. People just were willing to buy the fewer products that we have. They didn't want more variety. They just wanted what solves their problem and what is good. And then because the product was good, we saw our LTV climb again and again and again and higher and higher and higher over time because the product experience was so good. So that's the too good part. If your product experience is really good, they will tell their friends about it. Unless you have something bad in there that is countering that. One of the things is shipping. So if your product takes 2 weeks to ship, that's a bad experience. So even the product is good, they will not recommend it. Think about it in the restaurant context. Let's say you go to the restaurant, the steak is really good, but it took 2 hours to get to the table. You're still not going to tell your friends about it. So you can offset a great experience with a negative experience. That's why Amazon is so hard on one-day shipping. That's why people love Amazon so much, because they can get their products immediately. The other big component to that is customer support. Let me tell you a little story around that. My partner's wife, she went to Lululemon and she bought a yoga mat. And she thought Lululemon was really great. So she went home with the yoga mat and the yoga mat was broken. She's like, man, I'm so disappointed. I thought it was so good. I spent so much money on the yoga mat. And she lost her receipt. She's like, oh no. Anyway, she went back to Lululemon, to the store. She went to the girl at the cashier. She's like, look, I'm sorry I lost my receipt. My yoga mat is broken. And then what they did is like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. That should never happen. Here's our most expensive yoga mat. Let me give you that one as a free gift. I don't need to see a receipt. I'm so sorry about your experience. Guess what she's doing now? She's like on cloud 9. That's how I know about it, because she told my partner, he told me. And now I'm telling you, that experience in itself, people will share. On the other side, if you don't respond to support messages, if you have slow response messages, all of that goes down the drain. It seems like a lot of work, but think about how much work you put into this. And now think about how much more profitable is this. So doesn't it make sense to also put work on this one? Let's talk about the next one, which is encourage and reward. You always want to reward and encourage your people to share. So nothing beats a great experience with your product and your brand. But what people really want is status. So I'm going to give you 2 examples now. One example is a brand called Earth Rated. They sell dog poop bag. Very unsexy product. You literally pick up shit with it. So it's not an attractive product. But what they did is they tied a cause to that. They say, for every product someone buys, we're going to donate money to a shelter to rescue puppies. Guess what most people that use dog poop bags care about? Puppies. So if you get to contribute to save puppies, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to get your status up, to talk about it with your friends. So what they did is, in the very beginning, they gave out a little holder for the dog poop bags for free. They gave away thousands of them. Because once people had it, they're like, hey, I have this dog poop bag. You know what? I'm a good person because I have that. That means they're now rescuing shelters. And then the next person, the friend, is like, oh, that's really cool. I want the status as well. So they go to Earth Rated, they buy, and now they have status too. The second example is outdoor living. What they do is they sell expensive outdoor furniture, and they kind of cater to the Johnsons, the neighbors that always want to up each other. So what they do is when they sell outdoor benches or outdoor couches and their neighbors come over for the barbecue, look, this is our new couch. Don't you think it's amazing? And then they give their neighbors a code, a coupon code. Their neighbor goes by and then they get a commission for it. I think it's $300. So they encourage and incentivize one person to show their products to another and then get rewarded with money as a payment, as like an affiliate commission to make that transaction. Don't get me wrong, the money is nice, but what is really powerful is the status. So if you can tie anything around that, around your product and your experience, that's how you encourage and reward people to share your product for you. Okay, this is the last one, and then I'll break it down into the checklist that you can swipe and take and implement into your business. What we use at the last point is UGC. So UGC stands for User Generated Content. So ideally, we have these people talk to each other, right? But what is even better is each of these people is like a mini influencer. All of them have a little platform, they have a little social media content. It's good that each of these people talk. They meet each other, they go out for a coffee, they talk. What is even better is that each of the people that you sell to has kind of their own mini influencer platform. What I mean by that is everyone here normally has a Facebook account, an Instagram account, a Twitter, an X. There's different social media platforms that they use. So if they share your brand on their platform, you get exposure not to one friend, but to all of their friends. Why would people share it? So UGC can't just be an ad. You can't tell people, hey, I want you to record a video how great my product is and what cool features I have. That's not how it works. You need to cater for social media. Let me give you an example. We have one brand that's in the adult toy space. And even in that space, we get people to share their experience with the product. How we do it is we ask them to share something funny about it, a funny story, something interesting that happened with the product. And then some of them go out and they share it. We collected over 2,000 stories from people that they share with us on funny experiences that they had with the products. And then we ask them to share it online and give them free products as a reward in exchange. So we leverage their social media following with the social media platform that is not about selling, but that is about entertaining. So they create entertaining content that they share. That one has been the most powerful thing for us to do, but it's also the most complicated or the hardest one to do. So let me break this down for you, give you the checklist that we use to scale businesses to and beyond 8 figures. So this is a checklist that we use in our business to make sure that we kind of use the lowest hanging fruits that have the biggest impact. So this is how we see it. I will organize this from what is easy to implement versus what has the highest impact. I'm going to score these from 1 to 10, 10 being the easiest or the best. So 6 strategies we shared. You can use them in that order the same way that we use it, or you can just pick one, whatever seems best for you. Very first, we have the too good, nothing bad principle. None of any of the others matter if your product isn't good or you have an experience that takes away from your product. If your shipping is slow, if your support is bad, that's the very first thing to fix. That's the foundation, that's your baseline. So that, however, is not easy to do. When you start maybe with drop shipping or something like that, now you need to pre-finance inventory. It's difficult, it's hard, but it's so worth it because that has the biggest impact over all of the business. So that's always the very, very first things that we fix. The next one is product journey for us. If we don't have a second product to upsell, it becomes really hard to do more lifetime value, to sell customers again. We need to have something to sell. Here's a cool trick for that. That does not mean you need a ton of products. You can promote affiliate products. So if you have curtains and some other company has pillows that you really like, you can send emails and say, hey, we tested the 5 best pillow companies. This is the one we found. These are the best couch pillows that there are. You link them to their page and they pay you an affiliate commission. So you can do 2 things with that. You can test what is the best offer to upsell and you can get paid in the process. So this one is okay, easy. You still need to design that, but the impact of that is really, really high. So that's the very second thing that we normally do. The third one is email. Email for us is super easy to do. Again, when you do it post-purchase, you only set it up once. It takes you 2 days, 3 days to really sit down, focus, write a good email sequence for the next few days, scheduled in Klaviyo, and you can forget about it. It always works by itself. So therefore, the impact isn't as great, but it's super easy to do. So that's the next thing we implement. And number 4, we build that out. So that's the nurture funnel. That's where we start to add blog posts to it, to add content to it, to record videos, to maybe even hire an ambassador that can promote our brand for us. That one is not easy to do at all, and the impact is pretty good. So you see, we're going down to the last steps. Number 5 is encourage and reward. Encouraging people and rewarding them, it has an okay impact. It is not that easy to do. It helps. So this is something that's we call it a plus. There are multipliers and there are pluses. This one is a big multiplier. Making sure that you actually give people a great experience is a big multiplier for your brand funnel. Encouraging and rewarding people helps. So that's a plus. But the last one, this is the most powerful, is making your customers promote things on their channels for you. So that's UGC, user-generated content. It is the hardest thing to do, and it's the thing that has the highest impact. I hope this helped you today, because also we have a brand funnel here on this YouTube channel. So if you can subscribe and come back to watch our videos again, or share this with a friend if it was helpful to you, then you're growing our brand funnel. I appreciate that. I have many, many more things coming to you. We're actually building our own brand from zero. I'm sharing on the channel here step by step how we do it and how we're growing it to hopefully 8 figures as well.